the most talked about prophecy of 2025? The prediction that Japan will face a massive disaster starting from July. It all began with Japanese manga artist Ryo Tatsuki. You might remember her from the graphic novel, What I Saw in My Future. In it, she seemingly foresaw the March 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, an astonishing hit. In the 2021 complete edition, she pointed to an even bigger disaster arriving in July 2025. One that surpassed 311 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. Ryo responds, not all she meant. As July 5th loomed, Ryo Tatsuki released her new book, The Angel's Testament. She surprised everyone, not denying her message, but clarifying it. She never said the tsunami would happen on July 5th. She only meant that her dream came on the 5th of July 2021. The real disaster, maybe a bit later. To guard against publishers twisting her words to boost sales, she self-published this clarity. A mysterious life. Ryo's personal life is as enigmatic as the visions she shares. She avoids the internet, even doesn't use a smartphone. When she appeared on TV, she covered her face and changed her voice. Curiosity swirled. All that exists online is a grainy old photo from her early manga days and 2 childhood pictures in the Angel's Testament. She explains in her book she chose manga because it allowed her to work quietly at home, express herself, and remain hidden. Still, in this new book, she reveals more, her childhood, how these dreams began, and strange spiritual experiences. The mystery of 7. Born the youngest of 7, 1 brother, 3 sisters. And having moved 7 times, Ryo noticed a pattern. Her friend group always seemed to be 7 people, and photos from past events often featured 7 participants. Could this number's repetition in her life point to an uncommon spiritual gift? At just 3 years old, Ryo was climbing a pile of boxes when she slipped and fell. The accident left a long scar down her back. Her mother, whenever bathing her, would gently scold herself, "I was too busy with work to watch over you." Does it hurt, my child? When Ryo turned 9, she came down with a high fever. Weak and in pain, she remembered a phrase from TV. If you can observe yourself objectively, you can overcome any problem. Ryo drifted into deep thought. Why am I here? Who am I? She imagined her soul floating above her bed, looking down at herself, seeing her house from afar, and felt her worries fall away. Then she sensed a presence behind her. An old white-bearded man in robes, kind and familiar. She felt a deep yearning to return to his comforting embrace. Tears came to her eyes. This vision of the heavenly figure became the cover of the Angel's Testament, an unseen messenger of comfort. That's when she saw him. A man, white beard, white robe, white hair, smiling gently at her. In her heart, Ryo knew. If there is a creator, this must be what he looks like. This moment transformed her. She began maturing quickly, studying hard, and helping her family with determination. On November 1st, 1971, Ryo, then 17, was running late for an important entrance exam. She rushed into the street and was hit by a car. She spun through the air and landed on the pavement. Amazingly, she only suffered a pulled leg muscle. But the real miracle? The childhood scar on her back vanished completely. Just gone. This marked her second transformation, leaving behind her childhood and stepping into adulthood. After the accident, Ryo worked hard and became a manga artist. Then came the dreams. Vivid, prophetic, strange. At a friend's suggestion, she began drawing them. That became the Dream Diary, 2 books filled with predictions. 16 years into her career, Ryo was 33 when she found a fortune-telling book in a second-hand shop. Out of curiosity, she calculated her own fate, and saw she would die at 45. Shaken, she decided to retire by that age. But that's when her visions became sharper. Before 33, she dreamed of Freddie Mercury's death. After 33, she foresaw the death of Princess Diana, the 1995 Kobe earthquake, and even the 2011 tsunami. And always, watching from the background, was that same white-robed man. The creator. It was as if he was using her as a telephone. To speak to the world. At 44, she retired and traveled to India. Why India? Because she had seen a man on TV, Sathya Sai Baba. Though he didn't look like the man in her dreams, she knew it was him. When she compared palm prints, shockingly, they matched. During her pilgrimage, something mystical happened. In a crowd of followers, Sai Baba turned to her and simply said, "I know." In 1998, during a spiritual journey in India, she began to receive visions from others, as if she were a phone for spirits. In India, she met a female tourist who asked her deep spiritual questions. Every time the girl asked something, Ryo's mind filled with images, bright, flashing, urgent. When Ryo tried not to describe them, the images lingered. They only disappeared once she spoke them aloud. That's when she realized. She was like a telephone, receiving and transmitting messages from something far greater. Ryo discovered she was an empath, sensitively attuned to others' emotions. Someone happy near her would fill her with joy. Someone fearful would make her heart race. She could feel others' anger almost physically. She recounts another case in 2003. She was 49 years old. A woman, 60 years old, grieving her deceased husband, asked, "Could I see him one more time?" Ryo had a vision again. The husband was reincarnated as their granddaughter. His unfinished wishes would complete in that child's life. The woman wept in relief when told this. The woman then asked, "Why must we die?" Ryo received the answer, to refine the soul. Through life's experiences, loving, forgiving, overcoming sorrow, the soul grows. Ryo's mind filled with images. Eventually, the soul returns to its origin, shining like gold. Ryo saw a vision of the universe's beauty and was told, "Those who grow into these souls can bring peace to earth, angelic dreams." In a 1998 summer dream, Ryo saw Archangel Michael invite her to heaven, transforming her into an angel. Another dream during her India trip showed the white-bearded creator gently releasing 7 glowing bubbles into the sky, one of them containing Ryo as an angel. Then, she dreamt of an angel baby resting in a triangular tent atop a guitar-shaped rock. She knew it was her. She came to believe her life was purposeful. She was an angel on earth, meant to carry messages. One night in India, Ryo saw a terrifying vision in her dream. Boiling seas. 2 dragons. Enormous waves. The earth expanding. But the details weren't clear yet. She also saw a heavenly image, the creator sitting on clouds, surrounded by bubbles. Giants walking below, and floating heads in the mist. This would become the cover of her next book. Back in Japan, she worked on her final manga before retirement, The Future I Saw. At 2 a.m., exhausted, one last dream card was left unfinished. She napped for 10 minutes, and saw only words. A great disaster will happen in March 2011. Shocked but out of time, she simply wrote it down and turned it in. The editor said, "Isn't this too alarming?" Ryo replied, "It's over a decade away. No one will remember." The book was published in 1999. On March 11, 2011, the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami devastated Japan. Suddenly, everyone remembered Ryo's dream card. She became known across Japan as the prophetic manga artist. After the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, Ryo went quiet. But something brought her back. In 2020, fake prophecies started spreading online under her name. Then she saw footage of the tsunami on NHK. The horror reawakened her old visions. It triggered something deep in her mind. Suddenly, a dream she had long ago, back when she was 44 years old in India, came rushing back, clearer than ever.